Alright, so we saw at the end of the chapter that the Pirush that Roh HaKadosh Baruch Hu Shein Ha'olam Miskayim, that he was mishatef with the Midas Hadin, also the Midas Arachamim. We saw that was the Pirush that he was mitzamtzim himself through the union of Tzimtzum Harishon and other Tzimtzumim, until Elam HaAtzilus he was mitzamtzim himself by Yom Kazeh. Da'inu b'chinas Mamala Kol Ha'almin u'b'shorish u'mokir Mamala Kol Ha'almin. That's to say, in the earth after the Tzimtzum, which is Orishayach, to be Meir in the Kelim, and eventually when it reaches Olam HaAtzilus, Liyais Teifes Mokim Ha'aveda, the Torah mitzvahs, that should have some tfisa, because Lagabi the HaKadosh Baruch Hu, how he is be'emes, be'atzmus ein seif, how he is l'mayla mi ha'olam hez, and l'mayla mi yislabshas ha'eros be'kelim, then the Avedas HaTachtonim is not Teifes Makom. However, alidei that symptom and the Islavshas, the oil in the Kelim of Olam HaAtzilus, so then there is a certain Tfisas Mokim, a certain having of a reference, like Gabi Atzmas Ein Seif, the Aveda, the Torah mitzvahs of the Adam, and Lahamshik alidei zeh b'chinas Yischatches Am Shocher. That then, originally at the beginning of the Bria, or that Am Shocher, was the purely mitzad Kodesh Baruch Hu, mitzad ki chofetz chesed hu, was purely mitzad the Rebishter. But now, after the union from Bria Sa'ilam, everything is dependent in the Avedas HaTachtonim, and the Rebishter wants it through that Aveda of the Adam, the Klolos in Torah mitzvahs, we'll see more in detail. That we discussed the whole general union of the four oases of the Shem Havaya, the Shayach, to the Klolos Aveda of the Adam, how it is mitzad the Kelim of Atzilus, that it should be Teifes Mokim, and through that he is mamshik the renewal, these chachas of the Am Shocher, v'gam she'yeh alidei zeh b'chinas Gilui Ha'olam Lamata, it should be Gilui Lakus Lamata, b'nefesh ha'odam u'ba'olam, both in the nefesh of the mensch and in the world. V'al pi anal yuvan mashkosu. What we brought down at the beginning of the Maimah in the Medrash Rabbah, that we said that Eile tail days hashamayim va'oretz b'yom hibaram. These are the tail days. The Shamayim va'oretz b'yom hibaram. So that was the word Eile was used to Gabi the whole Shamayim and the whole creation of the Shamayim va'oretz. And so we asked a Shaila, b'schus mi nivra'u, in the schus of whom, in whose merit, or in whose merit were these things created? And we said it was b'schus v'eile shmois b'neis. Well, we found there was another Eile, what that was referring to the shmois of Bnei Israel, written at the beginning of Sefer Shmois, in Parsha Shmois, that the Yidden were the reason, they were there as it were. They were the ones who were going to bear the schus and bring out the reason, and bear the merit for the creation of the heavens and the earth. That was the Yidden. And then we saw Va'ela b'schus me'im. How is it that Yidden are able to continue their avodah, and in what merit do they continue their, or they carry out their avodah? B'schus eila ha'edus v'hamish potim, or that's referring to the mitzvahs. In other words, that how the Yidden perform that merit through which they are able to carry out and in their schus recreated continuously the Shamayim va'oretz. Well, that's through the kiyum of the mitzvahs. So that's what we brought that medrash at the beginning of the Maimah. So it's interesting to notice that we have in the middle, we have first of all the Shaila, who is the schus, or who is the merit for the creation of the Shamayim va'oretz, and then we bring the Yidden. We say it was due to the Neshomas, due to Yidden. following that, we say that the Yidden, they have the koyach alidei, the schus of mitzvahs. So from that we see that what you might say, the ikka purpose and the ikka koyach in the whole creation is in Yidden. Because immediately after the statement of the Teil of Shamayim V'Oretz, he asks, the Medrash asks, "B'schus mi heim nivro," and then we said they were not because of the mitzvahs. No, we said they were b'schus ve'el shmois b'nei Yisrael. So you might say, well, in Pashtus, well, if you don't have Yidden, you don't have mitzvahs. First of all, you have to have who's going to be Mekayim the mitzvahs, and then you have the mitzvah. Or say Nachanami, but that's in fact that he says b'schus. In the merit of who they created these inyonim, and we said they were created in the merit of the Yidden. Well, that's a sign that the Yidden, as it were, are value on their own. They are be'ika the time and the inyan for the creation of the Shemayim V'Oretz. And then, what sort of merit do they have to carry out that task? Might be the next question. And the far is that that's the inyan of Torah mitzvahs. In other words, if they don't have Torah mitzvahs, then they're not the central koyach and sibah and reason in the whole creation. Or if they keep Torah mitzvahs, then so the fizeh comes to is that really Yidden are aika in the whole. They are the principle and the ikka in the whole creation is Yidden, and it was because of Yidden that the whole creation took place. Torah and mitzvahs are like a necessity to give Yidden the koyach to carry out what they're supposed to carry. To carry out what they're supposed to carry out. But if it weren't for the etzem inyan that Yidden are in the creation, there wouldn't be any creation. And into that Ike, what you might call Ta'am, Siba, the Yesod, the Ike fundament in the whole creation is Yidden. And Torah mitzvahs are like an Asinus Koyach. And afar, it comes to is that since we have a inyan, that we want to make the world a dira b'tatoinim, that means to be megala elakus in the world. So you've got to have who's going to do it, because anyway the world is gil elakus. I mean the etzim creation is such that it's bottled anyway to the Eibishter, which means that really mitzad him everything is begolo b'lavochi. So what does it mean? This whole concept of gil elakus poilom, or the whole concept of dira b'tatoinim. It's anyway there. I mean, everything is bottled anyway to the Eibishter. And the Eibishter is there, begolo, really, mitzad the creation good. The creation is leis asa aponim me. What's the expression? Kula kamei kaloicha. Shiva, there's really nothing there anyway. Belavach. And Mamir, we have to say that the whole Indian is alidei Adam. Since Bilagabi the Adam, the oilam is malim, and the oilam is meloshin helim, and the Adam doesn't see elakus. The whole Indian of the dira b'taktoinim is that the mensch, he should be aware of elakus. That's dira b'taktoinim. That he becomes a medium that through him is revealed to him and the other b'nei Adam in the world, the Indian of elakus. That's dira b'taktoinim. Because otherwise the dira b'taktoinim is b'lavochi there. And that's what he means by saying that the Ika is the Yidden. The Ika koyach and the Ika purpose and the whole creation is the Yidden. If you don't have them, it doesn't really make any sense. And the whole in Torah mitzvahs is only the medium through which they're going to do it. In other words, that was what was Eila B'Ratzaina Yisborach. Went into the Eibishter's will that in this oifen, through mitzvahs, that it would be the Yidden from Gil Elakus in the world. And the Taklis HaKavanah B'Briyas V'Savas Oilam, that is missing there, the word Oilam is, who, L'hamshik Gil Elakus Po Oilam. In other words, like we see, to use the expression in Tanya, Dira B'Tach Toinim. You have to bring Gil Elakus into the world, V'Zeh Mamshichim Nishomis Yisrael. It's only Yidden are able to be Mamshich that. And how do they do that? Alidei Avedosem B'chinas, the Abba Oisis of the Shema Havaya, which we saw was, first of all, the Yud was Anochas Atzmusam, the putting of the self aside, Bittel, Gomu Bittel B'Metzias, and then we saw the Indian from the K, he lowers his Bonanas Betfila, so we see that his Bonanas Betfila has got a very important part in the whole Indian. first of all, there's the beetle, and then there's his boninus betfila. Ve alidei Torah and mitzvahs. Then we saw the Indian of Vav K, that was Torah and mitzvah. We saw the Vav was Be'ikid of mitzvahs, and K was even Kabbalah Soil, the Indian of Vedas Eved, the keeping of the mitzvahs, Papel Mamish. And we see that Torah or mitzvahs need a precedence, as it were. They need to be preceded by two inyanim, by the inyan of Hanochas Atzmusam, Beetle Gomor, and then the inyan of his bonin. So you might say, well, who busies himself with his bonin? Who sits around being his bonin in Elikut? So then we have to say that there must be some yid somewhere or another. That he's misbeinen a little bit before the Inyan Atfila, and the Eivishter, as it were, is mekayim the whole world because of him. They can do it. Because it has to be this Aveda, otherwise there's not going to be Gilui Elokus. And the whole Tachlis is that there should be Gilui Elokus. Who's Megillah Elokus? Only the Adam. So who's going to be Megillah Elokus? Only people, they do it in that order. First of all, Bittul, Gomer, Hanochas Atzmusam, his boninus betfila, and then Torah and mitzvah. So if you don't have his boninus betfila, you're missing one of the, you've got a missing link.
I would, it seems like maybe I would ask more on the complete bittul.
So don't forget to put it in the red book. And see if you can find this Etzon guy. I don't know if you're going to find it, but look in the old library and look around a little bit. And then maybe upstairs in the Zal or somewhere. Ken, mate.
You said that regarding his bonus that maybe there's someone out there wants some, but I would ask maybe there's someone out there that you said Bittul Gomor.
Yeah, that's Hanochas Atzmusai. But we had a whole view of Benegela Hanochas Atzmusai. We had the whole thing about Hanochas Atzmusai in the Maya. So you don't remember one time to the other?
No, I just
think that Hanochas Atzmusai would be harder to find.
Well, I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure. You got a lot of people, they really are botel. They really do give themselves away. They have a lot of things which would disturb them and get in the way, and they overlook it and they give themselves away completely to Torah and mitzvahs, particularly to the Ratzon of the Rebbe and other things in their shlichus in life, ka'ita v'zeh. To find the time and the koyach to sit and be misboinen, his boninus betfila, it's time. That's a door lokukach matzuri. In other words, walking around and people who mamish have decided to give themselves away, kol mitziusam, to Elokus and to Torah mitzvahs, I think there's quite a few of them. There's a lot of them. Of the people who find time to be misboinen. And Betula Kamesha Tzodik. And therefore, I'm suggesting that probably the Eivishter, if he's just got one or two Yidden somewhere that they're misboinen, then he builds on them. So that we could say is one of the interesting cases where the Eivishter builds on certain individuals the whole creation.
When we say misboineness, do we mean that like? Well, what
means his boninus. Don't try and dodge the issue. It means his boninus. I mean, his boninus means deep reflection. I mean, we've been into what his boninus means. It means deep going in and thinking and rethinking and reflecting on what you learned.
You could spend a lifetime in Hispaninus without doing anything else. I mean, we could spend the whole day.
Nobody's suggesting you should spend your lifetime not doing anything else. What we're saying is that together with the other things, you also have to do his boninus. That's what I'm saying. That seems to be a big nisoyan in our generation. The people are very busy in all sorts of good inyonim, but we don't see people so much being misbeinen in the meaning of tefillah, like once upon a time in the time, for example, these men are in the time. Follow? People who sit down and mamish think about Elokus, and then during that davening, they're also misbeinen in Elokus. You don't find it so much nowadays. That's what I'm trying to say. That after we have to say that there must be somewhere somebody who does. And so we have to say that there's a certain building on him, Al-Yidei HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And I'm suggesting that as a rather stirring and interesting machshava. You follow? Those are the nekuda. I mean, we find when they get to tzaddikim, to very great people, we find it's written about Rabbi Hanina ben Doita, that the Gemara brings him a set of brachas, that the Eivusha says that the whole world is only being fed and looked after in the schus of Hanina Bani. If it weren't for him, the Eivusha wouldn't be giving parnasa to the whole world. They state it in the Gemara. And so the Gemara says, why? Because Hanina Bani is enough for him. He has what are those fruits that what do you call them? The ones that Rashbi used to eat in the Maira, what do you call them?
Oh, carrot.
Yeah. Kav Kruvin. Yeah, Me'erev Shabbos ad Erev Shabbos. From 1 week to the end to the other, that's enough for Rabbi Hanina ben Doisa if he has a Kav Kruvin. So in that schus that he was so given away to the Eivusha, and he didn't mind what he ate, in that schus the Eivusha fed the whole world. He stayed on. So we see that there are certain people that in their merit the Eivusha so doesn't wait for everybody else. He's prepared to give to the whole. So what I'm trying to suggest is, just by way of suggestion, I'm not saying that is in effect the etzem, pure shadova. But I'm suggesting that nowadays we don't see so much the etzem meaning of his bein and his tefillah kamoshe be'emes tzorich lios. But the day Torah mitzvah shad is mamshichim gil elokus ba'adam u'bo'elam. Like I pointed out, the dik is the adam. The ikar gil elokus is ba'adam. And mamir derech zeh, it also comes into the oilam. There are other people see also elokus. If they see a certain yid is megala elokus bi'atzmos, and they understand that there's elokus ba'oilam. U'b'zehu kiyum ha'oilam shenishlam ha'kavona. And because of that, the Eivusha keeps the world going. So like I said, it appears that the Eivusha keeps the world going in the schus of a relatively, maybe, I don't know, in the schus of a relatively few yidden. I mean, yidden are really into all this in him. And they're into the oasis of the Shem Havaya, and they do it, mamish, his masters. And, devotion and ibegim to the Inyan and to the Emes. It's, not many such peoples. Yet nonetheless, through that is a kiyum ha'olam shenishlam ha'kavana. Omnam, says the Rebbe, zehu, all that is possible, kasher shitif imoy midasa rachamim. It's only when the Eivusha brought in a special type of rachamim into the world, and into his seder of running the world, shetzimtzem es atzmi kaviyochol liyos lefi ercha. So David brought down through the various tzimtzumim that he should be mislavish in the kelim of Atzilas, and that's already a mamutza. It's already a go-between in order to reach the inyan of Bria Yetzirah Asiyah and eventually Olam HaTachton, which is the Tachlis HaKavana. And that, in fact, that the Eivusha did that, that's a special type of Rachamim, a special inyan. In Rachamim, taking into account the fact that if he wouldn't have done that, then Eino Elam is Kayem, the world wouldn't have really been able to hold out. There wouldn't have been any reckoning with dimension. He wouldn't have been able to be Mamshech and Gil Elokus, Alidei Avidosei. Ki, Bebchinas Atzmas Ein Seif, in the level of Atzmas Oyer Ein Seif, meaning the Oyer Ein Seif Lamaila Legamri, Meho Ilamis, Hari Ein Teufus Mokim Maisa Hatach Toinim Klau. It's not Teufus Mokim the Maisa HaTachtonim at all. Ki im kasher tzimtzem es atzmei b'pchinas tziur odom. It's only when he is metzamtzem himself, b'pchinas tziur odom, into that whole concept that we spoke about so many times. In the last part of the Maimon, the whole union of odom, how it is lamaila in the spirit, and lamata in the mensch, b'pchinas kishu v'chibo ha'oiris v'ach keilim, that the Eibster joined himself up and he was mechaber himself with the oiris and the keilim, the esespheres, of the esespheres Atzilas, oz toifes mokim avedasa odom. Then there's a certain ability of the significance of the aveda of the mensch, legabi elikus. Like it's put down, that Kaviyocha, that's how the Eibster relates to the mensch in a way that it has some effect what the mensch does, and it's kilu significant to Hashem what he does. But that's only through the medium of the Ischabris with the Kedim of Atzilas. Laham shikila elikus ba'ilom. V'zeh shekosef achachach. And that's what's written. Afterwards. Meaning, achacha means at the end of the whole creation, after the creation, b'midas adin, b'yem aseis, havaya elokim eretz v'sho, mayim, that the Eibster was meshate, the Shem Havaya, with the Shem Elokim. Up to now in the Sipur, in the Torah of the Seder HaBriyah, it's only mentioned the Shem Elohim, the Shem Elokim. And here it's put down, B'yom Aseis Havaya Elokim, Eretz V'Shomoyim, Da'ainu Sheshitef Imoi Midasa Horachamim, that he brought in the inyan of Midas Horachamim, meaning that there would be a significance in what he did, Legabe, what the man does, Lamata, meaning that he made in Elikus Lamaila a inyan of a Adam, similar to what Adam is Lamata, so that Ali Day, his avodah, he can, as it were, touch off a similar divine inyan how it is Lamaila, but it's got a parallel to the Adam how he is Lamata. Dahainu sheshitif midas harachmim ve'oz nishlam akavona, and then there's completed and perfected the kavona, the eile teolus hashamayim va'oretz, al yudei neshama Yisrael. We pointed to the inyan of the Yidden. Please bang the door.
Probably one of the probably one of the Bachman from Taifa. They have a Messiah room. They
I have enough time.
A lot of times with the drafts.
Erev Shemoyim, Dainu sheshitavi moy midas harachmim, oz nishlam hakavana de'ela teolus hashamayim va'oretz, al yidei neshamas Yisrael, v'toira, through, first of all Yidden and then Torah, v'hamshi b'chinas gila elikus ba'olam, to bring the inyan of Gila Elikus into the world. Had it not been the inyan of Shittif Imoy, that the Eibster was allowed the whole Avedis Adam to have a certain significance, well, that's a special form of Rachamim. Alidei would even mitzamtzim himself into that inyan of the parallel Lamaila of Adam, then it wouldn't have been shaykh the whole inyan of Gila Elikus. So we see that that's a very special type of rachamim, but it's a rachamim which is shy to the slapshis in the esespheres of Atzilas. So according to the minhag, which is makubal, by Yidna, when you finish one masechta, you always begin there. You don't just finish, but you can begin the next masechta. So we'll just read a couple of lines of the coming maimah, and then we'll see further what to do. Omnom Shem Havaya Habeis, Hu Shem Havaya Dele'elo. So we saw there were the two Shemas Havaya, Vayiko Havaya Havaya in the Yud Gimel Midas Harachmim. At the beginning there are two Shemas Havaya. So we said that one was the first one, with the Shem Havaya Dilatato, which has got to do with the esespheres of Atzilas, and then Shem Havaya Dele'elo Shelamayla Mishtau Shelas. Hu Shem Havaya Sheberotzin. like we saw at the beginning of the whole Hemshech here, that the whole Inyan of Rosh Hashanah is the Gira Rotzen. Over the Rotzen, how it is, Mamish Miyuchad with the Eibishter is also completely separate from being shayat to the actual Hisavas of the Elam, shayat to the actual Elamas. Therefore, there has to be in the Rotzen Gufa a series of what you might call madregas, which cause it to go down and be Magala the Inyan Rotzen Bapuyo in Brias Visavasa Ha'elamas. So that was the Rebbe, that's the Inyan of the Shem Havaya Shebarotzen. She'ola beretzeni laha tzil ulivrei. But that's already in the Rotzen Gufa, that it's already come down into a level of laha tzil ulivrei. Shebarotzen yesh kol hamadregas shebishtalshelet. V'hainu hadalad madregas, or the dalad esis of the Vaya, like as it were, first of all a chokhmah, and as it were a broadening in a bina, and then a further hamshocha, and then another hispashtes. All those inyanim are there, and they're the dalad esis of the Vaya. Yesh nam gam kein b'pidus rotzen or elyain. Also in the inyan from rotzen elyain. That's beyond the whole connection, or any geder or value, or what you might call comparison, a judgment with the inyan from Elamas. Okay, now the Atmas ain't safe. Moved over erev me'aesas v'reis. V'agam shu b'chinas rotzen al Elamas mikol mokim aramul b'deisha b'chinas rotzen yes havas Elamas. So dafki alidei ishtalshelas. So even though we're saying that the Inyan of Rotzen, how it is in that Madrega, is already a Madrega, is moved on the Elamas, nonetheless we say that it's a Rotzen to bring about the Elamas. So the Rebbe said that it had to go down through different levels in order to actually get to Malchus Datzilas, and that's the Shem Havaya Shebarotzen. But that's, as it were, the Shem Havaya, how he is L'mayla mi'atzilas. And that brings down the Inyan from Rotzen, that it should be able to relate at least to Olam HaAtzilas, and eventually the bringing about of the Olam Bapoyo. So that's a Shem Havaya Kolul in Amadrega, which is essentially L'mayla mi etzem Olam HaAtzilas, and L'mayla mi the Hisavas Ha'olam. Good. Okay, so we'll hold there.